Hey, what's up guys? It's Zijing here. Welcome back to my channel. As promised in this video, I'm taking you to see a full working day I had as a working from home data scientist. You will see what I did at work on a regular Monday and how do I reflect at the end of the video. Today is another early meeting day. I got up around 6:59 to log into my 7 a.m. meeting. My mind was still fuzzy and the morning was a bit chilly. Fortunately, I had my furry coworker accompany me. Today's meeting was about feature engineering. I was discussing with my coworkers about a potential new feature to add that could benefit our forecasting models. We were looking at the features datasets together and sorting out the logics. It's a very interesting brainstorming session, a perfect way to wake up my mind. The coffee definitely came at the right moment. I feel my mind has woken up more. I took some notes. The problem is actually a bit more complicated than I expected. I'm so glad that my colleagues have got my back. So this is a typical early morning meetings that I have. Since I'm working with coworkers in different time zones, it is very common for me to have 7 a.m. meetings on work days. These meetings are energy consuming because we usually leave the mornings to tackle the most difficult problems. Although they are interesting and usually help waking up my mind, I always prefer to have relaxing mornings that involve with a wholesome breakfast, an inspiring reading session, and some vitamin D's before the real work starts. I guess I'm having intellectual nourishment for breakfast today. Almost right after the first meeting, I had a one-on-one with my intern to go over her project progress. Even though it usually takes a long time to understand the business, understand what we do in the team, and ramp up to add value to the team, she has made impressive progress in such a short period. Other than being smart and sharp, I know she works very hard to reach this point. Not only on making progress on the projects, but also on asking the right question to the right person. Many interns or new grads usually feel overwhelmed at the beginning to understand the business and feel pressured to produce something meaningful. I totally get it because I have been there. One suggestion I would give is to not be afraid of asking questions. Of course, you shouldn't ask questions that you can Google the answers, and you should keep documenting the questions you have asked in the past so you don't ask something twice. But being new is probably the best excuse to ask questions about everything. Schedule one-on-ones with key points of contact, especially the one who understands the business and the data. One of the reasons AI hasn't replaced human yet in the data function is because business data is always so messy. If you don't understand how the data is being collected and classified, it is almost impossible to derive any useful insights. After the meeting, I took my weekly planner and started to write down my weekly priorities and to-do list. I usually write down what's the 3 most important tasks to finish for the week at work, my side hustles, or any other important life events. Finally finished my morning meetings and I was chill on my phone for a bit, and now I'm gonna brush my teeth and wash my face, something that I never did before my morning meetings. And I'm gonna get some breakfast. I was gonna do some fasting in the morning, but I feel very hungry. Looking forward for the rest of the week. I actually didn't have time to eat breakfast because I received some working messages and I'm trying to reply to them. Afterwards, I have a coding session to modularize some of the repetitive tasks I have to do every quarter. And I find it's very useful to have a module and write them into classes or functions so I can easily import the packages and reuse them for new data or new visualization. While we're still on this endless clip, I wanted to add more about what I write on my weekly planners. So I mentioned I write about what is the 3 most important tasks to finish for the week. And then I will write down the subtext to these priorities in different days of the week. I usually assign specific days with different themes. Like Monday is my writing day. I would write Medium articles or YouTube scripts. And Saturday is my video editing day if I need to upload any video for the week. On top of the to-do list, I also keep a habit tracker for workouts, sleeping on schedule, and healthy eating, trying to track and motivate myself to live a more healthy lifestyle. Today I have a meeting at 12:30, so I had a quick lunch and made myself another cup of coffee to fill myself up for the rest of the day. I can't imagine a working day without coffee anymore. With a coffee in hand, I'm joining my first meeting in the afternoon, which is communicating with a project we're working with at university. We are checking how the students are making progress in the project, whether they are reaching the milestone that we have set up, and what's their pain points working in this project. So far, we have seen a lot more struggles than I expected, which is very understandable. I think that puts the students into perspective that what they have learned in the textbook may not be the most useful way to deal with real-world dirty data, and we have a lot to go, and hopefully we are able to reach something valuable in the end of the semester. For the rest of the afternoon, I plan to do some research on some of the model methodologies for the future works, but I got a message from my manager to have a one-on-one to brainstorm some new project that was kicking start. So I attended a meeting and we had discussed much more content than I expected. And it was a very productive session, and we are aligned with our goals, and we are developing some new ideas for the future project. So right now it's around 4. I'm already wrapping up on a few more tasks and about to log off. So this is how my working day looks like. It's one of the typical days that I have a lot of meetings and then has less time to do independent works. Today's meeting involves with brainstorm sessions, thinking about a new method to solve a new problem or a new method to solve something we have been thinking about for a long time. And then we also have meetings about some working sessions and we do active coding on the fly. Today I also have some meetings ramping up some new members for my team. This time we have a new intern. I'm bringing her up to speed. And we also have some university projects that I'm checking in on their progress. So a lot of meetings. There is not really a typical working day for me to have this many meetings, almost back to back. But I think with position moving up or with my job function extended, now I'm facing more responsibilities and tasks to communicate with different people and aligning goals with expectations or helping other people with their own projects. So I think it's taking the leading role of a project that requires me to have constant communications with people, both within and outside the team. So for an introverted person, having meetings is actually draining energies, even though those meaningful discussions and communication can be very inspiring. But still, it's draining my social energy. So I usually need to have some independent working sessions by myself, such as coding, to really recharge my battery. And also, that's mostly where my innovative work emerging from those independent working sessions, to really distill what we have discussed in the meeting and trying to come up with a product. Throughout my observation, I think most of my fulfillment from the work or any other aspect of my life comes from completing something. So when I'm coding, I know I'm completing either a piece of code or some result or a model or generate something that can be visualized. That usually gives me more sense of completion and happiness than attending meetings that maybe will reach a goal, a plan or roadmap, or have some ideas. They're less tangible than actually have some product. But I'm transitioning my mindset into this goal-oriented and result-oriented, to also emphasizing on the progress and what I learned, what I pick up throughout the process. So it's hard skill versus soft skills, and it's about help the team and making contributions in different ways. It's always nice to know yourself better so you can better communicate your own preference and boundary to people, and also understand that people have different working styles or their own preference, and we are here to collaborate and bring up the team productivity. So I think that's all for the working day. And after work, today I don't have a lot of plans. Recently I have not been really very productive on my side hustles, so I'm gonna continue read this book. So this is the book Daisy Darker by Alice Finney. So whenever I feel like I'm not in the mood of reading something heavy like a nonfiction, I would go to a page-turner thriller, and those always turn on my interest in reading again and feel like time passed by so quickly before I finish the book. And later I'm gonna go to a yoga class. Recently I'm starting to try yoga and hot yoga. It's a new workout for me because I'm more used to like heavy weightlifting kind of working out. But I think yoga will help me with focus by meditation, because sometimes I do feel my mind is everywhere and that makes me anxious sometimes. So I hope the yoga practice can help me to be more concentrated. And recently I'm changing my sleeping schedule from always sleep very late, around 12-1-ish, to actually force myself to go to bed at 10 and fall asleep around 10:30. So I can wake up earlier, because I know sometimes I have 7 a.m. meetings, and if I maintain a habit of sleeping late and I only wake up whenever I have early meetings, then I will have inconsistent sleeping schedules, and first of all, it messes up my productivity for the whole day, and second of all, as I mentioned in my previous video, 2024, my priority is to keep healthy habits so I can be healthy. So that's why I wanted to change my sleeping schedule to be more consistent, and since I cannot choose to always wake up late, I can choose to always wake up early, even though I don't have a 7 a.m. meeting. And I hope I can keep a consistent schedule, so in the future I can share morning routine video as well. So that's all for today. Thank you all for coming along for my working day as a work from home data scientist. Let me know if you also have similar working schedules as a data scientist or other professions when you work from home or from the office. And so until next time, keep productive. Bye.